So, there's something we really need to talk about. Something that's been going on in the Elden Ring community, kind of in the shadows, and if you don't follow things very closely, you might not even be aware of it. And this was something that's kind of been encouraged for the past year and a half, but because of one event, it's no longer okay and has really shifted in nature. Now, this is going to be a very opinionated video, and I want to clear up a few things before we get started. Number one, I'm not calling out anybody in specific in this video. Please take everything I say in a general manner. And secondly, please watch the whole video so you don't misconstrue my thoughts. The point of this is going to be to ask a question. I'm not presenting this in a hostile nature. What I want from this video is to get the community's idea of where everybody stands on this argument. And then finally, I want to preface this by saying I am probably the least qualified person to be talking about this, because I'll be honest, I've contributed to this for the past year. It's literally what built my channel. So I think I can offer a unique perspective on this, but with that out of the way, let's get into it. We have come to a point now where something very serious is going on in the Elden Ring community, and that is legitimate spoilers. Now, I don't know how the heck this is getting out there, or how people are even coming across this information in the first place, but when I say there's spoilers out there, I'm talking legitimate in-game bosses, major story elements, and even the endings of the game. And I would say about half of the information out there has slipped to the public. I've got people sending me stuff on the inside that I do not want to see, and I wish I didn't know, so I do not fully know the context of how people are coming across this. I do know a few people that are still playing the game, but even then they're limited in what they can play. I know they're not going all the way to the end, and so the fact that this information is somehow finding its way out there really makes me question a lot of things. However, the fact of the matter is, it is real and it is out there. Now, you might be wondering, aren't leaks what we've been wanting this whole time? And the answer is, yes, we've been wanting leaks for a long time now. I've literally been covering leaks and speculation for the past year, but something's changed since then. We've gone through a major transition in the Elden Ring community. I mean, a year ago, we barely knew the name of the game. So if a leak were to come out and say, hey, Godric the Golden is the boss of Stormvale Castle, we wouldn't know what the heck that meant. And all that leak would have done a year ago is create fun speculation. However, now things have changed. Now we have something we didn't have a year ago, and that is context. We now know so much more about the game than we ever thought we would. And so I believe we have officially crossed the line of where a fun leak just becomes a spoiler. And like I said, a year ago, somebody who leaked some information about the game was almost considered a hero. That was in a time where we basically had nothing. And so any little scrap we did get fed us for months. But now the times have changed. We've had 2 trailers, gameplay footage, and actually played the game ourselves now. And we now know so much about the game that any little information that we get now can be correctly placed in context of everything else we know. And so the line has now been crossed where a leak becomes a spoiler. So what is my stance on this? Now, this might be controversial, and once again, I'm probably going to look like a hypocrite for saying this, because all these leaks really built my channel, but I believe that content creators like myself and people of established positions in the community need to start cracking down on this. We need to stop letting blatant spoilers be shared around, because the truth of the matter is, for every one person that shares this information with a spoiler tag, 5 more are going to share it without. And like I said, that might be a controversial opinion, and I am going against my own actions that helped me get to where I am over the past year. Now, I know there's a lot of other content creators out there that have access to more information. It might even be the same information as me, or it might be something entirely different. But I'm asking you, for everybody else's sake, if you are watching this, please don't share it. And this is probably going to be extreme, but I'm talking about Discord servers, on Reddit, and any other Elden Ring forums. I'm just simply asking you to keep it to yourself. Now, I'm not going to pretend like I don't see the other side of that. I completely understand the argument of, if you don't want to know, just don't look. And that's the stance I've taken for the past year. However, due to all the context we have and people just blatantly sharing it like that, I don't think that argument holds water anymore. The majority of the reason that people shared these leaks in the first place was to do the community a service in the time when we had nothing. And so now that we have all this information, we're kind of just doing the opposite. It's not really helping anybody anymore to know the names of all these in-game bosses and how their fights go. All that's doing is hurting the people that don't want to know. Spoilers are a bigger deal for games that have a more linear storyline, and I know that. But there's something special about the Souls games that uniquely suffers because of spoilers. The Souls games have obtuse storytelling, and one of the greatest events and most fun times I've ever had in a Souls game is that unique effort by the community as a collective to solve the story. When we all work together like that after the game releases at the same time, I gotta say there's not much else that can match that level of excitement and fun. And so when people come out with these spoilers spoilers 3 months before release, all you're doing is taking away from that experience. And there's no positive to that. And I want to say one more time, that's just my opinion on it. I'm not trying to be the guy to tell you what you can and can't talk about. And I will say, I get it, I understand. I know the rush when you have information that other people don't and you get to share that. I've been there. But for the sake of the community, I think this has to stop. All we're doing by sharing these spoilers is ridding ourselves of a better experience at launch. Now, do I think this is going to end? I don't. Honestly, to see this level of spoilers coming out 3 months before release is kind of unprecedented. And if I'm being honest, I think it's only going to get worse from here. But the only way we're going to put a stop to this is if we come together as a community and work together to keep these leaks hidden. And that starts in our own little private communities. Now, if you are somebody that's an insider, if you're the ones playing the game right now, please, for your own sake and for everybody else's sake, keep it to yourself. You're not only jeopardizing your job, but you're also potentially facing legal action if it does come to light. Is that probably gonna happen? No, but it always could. So just remember that. But to wrap up all my thoughts on this, let's try to bring this to an end. Content creators and insiders, work on stamping this out, keep it to yourself, and everyone else, if you do come across this information, ask yourself, you know it's tempting to look at, but is this going to take away from your very first playthrough? But what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments how you feel about this. I understand there's going to be a lot of y'all that disagree. And keep in mind too, if you try to share spoilers down there, you're going to get blocked. And I'm going to say this one more time. I know I'm a hypocrite for talking about this. I made a video last week talking about some major spoilers that I thought was just a fun leak, because it directly tied into a lot of our lore videos that we had been talking about. But you guys helped me realize that all that did was dampen the experience for others, and now I see that. And so I hope this video helps other people realize the danger in that, so that we can all have a better experience on day one. But anyways guys, that's gonna pretty much do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like on it and subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll catch you in the next one.